In this video, we are looking at a huge result in the study of complex numbers, and that is de Moivres' theorem. So I'm going to derive de Moivres' theorem for you, and then we'll look at how to use it. So de Moivres' theorem is a theorem about raising complex numbers to powers. So if we take a complex number written in modulus argument form, and we raise it to some power n, what do we get? Well, obviously we get r to the n, that's okay, r is just a real number, so r to the n, and then we get this number here to the power of n, so that is cos theta plus I sine theta to the power of n. Now, let's try to evaluate this bit. So I don't need to do anything with my r to the n, but we're going to dip into exponential form for this. So cos theta plus I sine theta is the same as e to the I theta. And now we can use our standard result from exponentials, which is that e to some power raised to another power, we can just multiply these powers. So that is r to the n, e to the n I theta. Let's now dip out of out of exponential form, go back to modulus argument form, because what I now have is e to the power of ni theta is the same as cos of n theta plus I sine n of theta. And this is de Moivres' theorem. De Moivres' theorem says that if you take some complex number, r cos theta plus I sine theta, all to the power of n, it tells us that we raise the modulus to the power of n, and then our argument simply gets multiplied by n. So you can bring that power down into the argument. So it's a lovely result, right? Raising this inside bit, just the kind of cos theta plus I sine theta bit, to a power of n. The n just appears inside the trig functions, and it's going to prove unbelievably powerful. So let's look at how we can use that. So here's a full statement of Moivres' theorem. If we want to work out cos of 7 pi over 12 plus I sine 7 pi over 12 raised to the power of 6, it's really, really easy. The modulus in this one is 1, by the way, so I can just ignore that. All I need to do is bring this 6 down in and multiply the argument here by 6. So what is that? Well, 7 pi over 12 times 6 is 7 pi over 2 plus I sine 7 pi over 2. Now from here we can get it into any form we want. That argument is bigger than 2 pi, so I can just subtract a few multiples of 2 pi from that. So if I subtract 2 pi once, I get 3 pi over 2. If I subtract 2 pi again, I get minus pi over 2. So let's go with that. So let's go with cos of minus pi over 2 plus I sine minus pi over 2. And now we can just evaluate these. Cos of minus pi over 2 is 0, and sine of minus pi over 2 is minus 1. So after all of that, the answer to this is just minus I. And you can see we get an answer there, which this would have been really difficult to work out in any other way, really. It would just be a lot of computation. But when we do it this way, it's really, really easy. Okay, let's have a go at this one down here now. Okay, first thing to do is, before we can actually use de Moivres' theorem, we just need the bottom to actually be in modulus argument form. So the top's fine, that's cos 5 theta plus I sine 5 theta. That denominator, that negative there, tells us that really we change that to a plus and make the argument minus 3 theta. So that's cos 3 theta, no, minus 3 theta plus I sine minus 3 theta. And now we can apply the power of 2 to that. Using de Moivres' theorem, we get, well, the numerator doesn't change, but the denominator, we bring that 2 in and it becomes minus 6. So cos minus 6 theta plus I sine minus 6 theta. And now this is just standard division of complex numbers. The modulus is 1 in both cases. the arguments we just subtract. So that's 5 theta minus minus 6 theta, which is 11 theta. So we get cos of 11 theta plus I sine 11 theta. You could leave your answer like that. Of course, we could write that in exponential form, e to the 11I theta, but this is fine too. Okay, have a go at these. Pause the video and see if you can use the Moivres theorem to help you here. Okay, so to do this, we need it in modulus argument form. So what is the modulus of 1 minus root 3? What's the square root of 1 squared plus root 3 squared, which is 2. So it has an argument, a modulus of 2. And the argument, so it's going to be 2 to the power of 6. And then we need its argument. I always like to do a sketch for these. So 1 minus root 3. So what is that angle there? Well, if that's 1 and that's root 3, tan of that angle is root 3 over 1. So the angle there is pi over 3. So it's an argument of minus pi over 3. So what we've got is cos minus pi over 3 plus I sine minus pi over 3, and all of that raised to the power of 6. So we can multiply the argument by 6. 2 to the power of 6 is 64. And then it's cos of, well, minus pi over 3 times 6 is minus 2 pi. Plus I sine minus 2 pi. Now, cos of minus 2 pi is 1, and sine of minus 2 pi is 0. So we just have 1 inside here. And so our answer is 64. So what we've actually found is that 1 minus root 3i is one of the 6th roots of 64, which is quite cool. Okay, this one here. So again, we'll need the modulus and the argument. So the modulus here is the square root of 2 squared plus 2 squared, which is 2 root 2. So 2 root 2 raised to the power of 8. Now the argument, so minus 2 plus 2. That angle there is going to be pi over 4. So this angle here, and our argument is 3 pi over 4. So it's cos of 3 pi over 4 plus I sine 3 pi over 4. And all of that raised to the power of 8. So doing each of these in turn. So 2 root 2 to the power of 8 is big. It's 4096. Then we can bring our 8 inside here. And when we multiply 3/4 by 8, we get 6. So that's cos of 6 pi plus I sine of 6 pi. Now, cos of 6 pi is 1 and sine of 6 pi is 0. So once again, it's just 1 inside here. And our answer is 4096. So one way to think about this is we've just discovered that minus 2 plus 2i is one of the 8th roots of 4096. Okay, so that's a little intro into de Moivres theorem. I'm going to use it in lots of interesting ways over the next few videos. So stick around and I'll see you there.